like, oh God, I didn't mean it. How did I do it? By then, you may have become Oga's guest, and that is not a good way to go. So, cool temper today. Are you driving? No road rage. Like me, no road rage. Just behave yourself because I'm a road rager sometimes, so I've repented. So, take it easy on the roads today. I'm Cordelia Othmay. It's a Wednesday. I don't know what my co host is bearing today.
Okay, a day after Aswani Day, I still remain Joseph Folorunshah.
No, you for change name now.
But one thing what the lady say, one should I call you learned, even though you repented, they say there's no stopping investigating any matter. So they can still check maybe the one you do before. And,
you never repent, finish. I beg you. And you heard earlier on, we told you we'll be having a big boss in the house, and we said get some of your concerns ready in case he's able to answer them, or we have time for that. You get to share. We have with us the Assistant Inspector General, AIG Zone 2 Onikon, AIG Tղᴇ Mustapha Fayuade MNI SC. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, before we move on to say anything, I'll quickly let you know that he had joined the force, the police force, on the 18th of May, 1992. He started as a cadet assistant superintendent of police, and he has served in various capacities across the Federation, and he has grown in the ranks, and he served in Taraba, Akwa Ibom, Abia State. He was the DPO in Ilupeju, Victoria Island, Ajawa Estates, and Man Center police stations in Lagos. That shows he has gone through the ranks, and upon his promotion to the rank of Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP, in 2018, he was deployed as DC Maritime Command Lagos, and later as DC Admin Zone 2 Command Headquarters, Onikon, Lagos State. January 2021, he was posted as Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Elite States Criminal Investigation Department, SCID Panti Yaba, Lagos. He was Commissioner of Police in charge of Armament Force Headquarters, Abuja. And anyway, it's a long one, but he was recently elevated to Assistant Inspector General of Police. He was posted to Zone 2 Command, Onikon, Lagos, and this covers Lagos and Ogun State Command as a 32nd Assistant Inspector General of Police. And he was immediate past Commissioner of Police in charge of Lagos State Police Command. He's been quite active in fighting crime, of course. If not, this wouldn't have been anything to talk about. But let's tell you, I told him, I said, oh, guy, you like book. Because he holds a master's degree in public administration, MPA, from the University of Lagos, Bachelor of Arts degree in education from Lagos State University, a diploma in political science from the National Open University of Nigeria. He was at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, New York, USA. Goodness gracious. Why? Why? And Kuru, everything. How come? You should be a lecturer. You like to study so much. Tell me, before we go into the hard things, tell me a bit about your educational journey. As I said jokingly, that you like book. Am I correct? Or is it necessity?
You are very correct. In fact, I would have been a lecturer, but I decided to be in the police so that I can serve humanity better, because police is widespread. You have to handle issues that concerns the members of the public, and it cuts across. So it's a more demanding job, and it has to do with the life of every citizen. Anytime a police acts either by omission or commission, it affects the life of that citizen or that community. So it's a job that needs a lot of dedication, that needs a lot of sincerity, hard work, and determination to ensure that justice is done, and not only done but transparently done.
Since 1992 till date, do you think you've been able to achieve that thing that pushed you into the force? Have you been able to touch lives?
Yes, I can say I've been able to do that to a large extent. Every post I find myself, I make sure that I ensure that justice is done on every matter that comes before me. I ensure that even issues that will be at the point of being taken to court, I still ensure that parties, let's sit down and see whether we can resolve this matter. And at the end of the day, the matter is resolved and the parties in dispute becomes the best of friends.
Okay.
And
Now,
that attitude, that system lifts the burden from the judiciary. But the judiciary is already overburdened, and minor cases that could be settled at the police station shouldn't be a subject of the court. Parties can resolve it, it's better.
if parties can resolve it, is a lot better, and it removes some weight from the judiciary.
Exactly.
I take that as a nugget to keep for a long time, because what we've come to see, we had last week somebody who had just been granted pardon from the Kirikiri Maximum Security Correctional Center.
Yes.
By the state government. He was granted pardon, and one of the things that we discovered, not just from him, I've heard it in some other places, were some weird things. One, the fact that sometimes you get to the police, the officer investigating the crime or in charge of that case sometimes will write something that is different from the offense of the person. He said, for instance, this person, what he did was to steal cars, right? But what the officer wrote for him was armed robbery. And that a lot of the people he had met at the prisons too, some of them had those things differently written compared to what they had done. Have you come across this complaint? And if yes, what can be done?
Sometimes when charges are not properly done, it goes a long way to affect the victim, and innocently the victim can remain in custody innocently for many years. But I think there's a kind of measure in Lagos now by the Lagos State Judiciary. Once a case is taken to court from the police station, there's a team of magistrates that will sit down and review that case and see whether that case is good for trial, whether it's not good for trial. If it's a case that is civil and it's not good for trial and the charges are just frivolous and not supposed to go for trial, they will return it to the police station, and the police will have to look at that again and maybe try to resolve it at the level of police station. So that incident you mentioned, I think with that measure has been reduced to the barest minimum.
And when such a situation is discovered, do we get the police punish or reprimand her own for doing such a thing?
No, when such a thing is discovered, we look at who is at fault, who made that error, and we have internal disciplinary mechanism that is very effective. We subject that person to a room trial, and if he's a senior officer, he will be issued a query. Appropriate punishment will be meted to the officer who made such a costly error.
Now, you're in charge of Lagos and Ogun State, and you've been in that position for some months now, last year till this point. What does it entail?
It entails supervising Lagos and Ogun, the economic hotbed of Nigeria. You know, Lagos is the economy epicenters of this country. Ogun State is also following the state of Lagos. We have a lot of industries springing up in Lagos, along the express, in Otai, Agbara, everywhere. So it is a lot of work managing the two states, and that is why the two states must be kept under a situation where crime is at the barest minimum, because for us to continue to achieve or sustain the economic growth in those states, crime must be at the lowest ebb. And I want to sincerely say that the state has been experiencing peace to a large extent, though we have few cases cropping up, and as they come up, we have strategy to tackle them. The two commissioners of police in the two states are doing very well, and the two states are enjoying peace.
So that means in your office, you oversee the activities of the commissioners too?
Yes.
What they do, and where they are falling short, you will call them to order. You were once in that position too. Between when you were here and now, what has been the major improvements that you have seen taking place, or some of the challenges? Because when you were here, people were not complaining so much about the hunger we're complaining about now, and hunger will push people into crimes, right? So between then and now, what has been the major change you've seen or challenge?
Okay, the major change I can say I've seen is just like it was in the past. More police visibility. Its policemen are more accessible. The patrol teams are always prompt to respond to incidents. And when we have incidents, the adequate strategy is put in place to tackle those incidents and get those behind the incident arrested. And at the same time, we've been able to leverage on technology using tracking device and other devices to get, especially those that engage in kidnapping and other vices, arrested. Even when they think they have had a field day, we get them arrested when they least expected that they'll be arrested.
Now, Joseph, you come in shortly, but please permit me to ask this one. You refer to kidnapping and, let's just say, criminality generally, Lagos and Ogun State. Last year, they had this major issue about that Bagada Expressway, where there was this spike in the one chance thing, people being kidnapped and so on. I agree that the way we have it in some parts, we don't really have that here in Lagos. What has been the spread like of the police presence at Lɪධᴇ? They recently were crying out that practically every morning they've been having armed robbery attacks. People have been attacked. So it's like they moved to that hotspot. What are some of the major things done to reduce that of Bagada and now to target a place like Lɪධᴇ?
Okay, when we had the Bagada issue, I was the CP in Lagos. That was the time I took over. And this Bagada issue was all over the place. I was even on TVC News and I was bombarded with questions on Bagada. And I tackled the problem headlong and we were able to reduce, in fact, cancelled the issue of one chance robbery or kidnapping along that Bagada. The Lɪධᴇ issue, which is just which you have just mentioned, the Commissioner of Police is also tackling that. We have police presence everywhere there, and I must tell you, some arrests have been made, very good arrests, which we may not have made known to the members of the public. And presently, that area which you said is becoming, maybe the criminals are spreading there, we have also tackled that, and I think that taxes is very safe, and we continue to ensure that police presence, police accessibility and visibility is very large in those areas.
And how do we ensure that those sting operations, because I'm aware of some sting operations like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, as you said, arrests were made. How are we ensuring that innocent people don't get packed the way they usually would just come to an area with their buses and start picking people? How do we ensure that that doesn't happen now?
Yes, we put measures in place, because when we've always insisted that arrests must be made in dark spots, we have identified the dark spots where these criminals stay. Don't go and arrest innocent Nigerians at the bus stop going to their places of work. Go to the black spots and pick them. And even if by mistake innocent persons are arrested, when they get to the station, the area commander and the DPOs will personally screen those arrested and ensure that the innocent ones are allowed to go free without keeping them for any longer than necessary. So when senior officers are involved in screening like that, it's always very objective, and good results are gotten. Only the criminals, only the obvious criminals are allowed to face the wrath of the law.
And if you are found to be free, bail is free.
Oh, very, very much.
Okay. Jeff.
Well, let me start with first is a commendation, and because when your Oga was a CP, Lagos, they do something that actually surprised me, and there was some number of protests and the protest was practically on the protest from I think under bridge to Lausa, and many of us take water. We drink water and take biscuits. So the way he managed the protest actually continue to give some more hope that we only have, when you have the right people in position, you get a lot of things right. So, sir, what do you do to ensure that the way you manage Lagos, that any person that is coming as CP of Lagos, because if there's any protest in Nigeria, if Lagos is not as it, in fact, they will say, so you actually manage those supposed to very serious protests, but it's as if you were marching with us, and at the end of the day, everybody, when they deliver their speech, everybody go home. And
wait, sorry, Joseph, you were saying marching with us?
Yes, he was practically following us.
Did you join the protest?
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't take biscuits. I take water for that.
We will discuss
okay, covering the protest.
Covering.
Okay.
Sir, please. So the idea of the protest, how it was managed, and the fact that it was rather peaceful here, there must be protests. So going forward, as you oversee these people, what legacy do you want them to leave? How do you want them to follow up on what you did whenever there is a protest, so that there is no mayhem?
Okay. Well, I want to thank God for the end bad government protest that went each free. There was no incident. We did not even use one canister of tear gas. To achieve that is very simple. We have to continue as policemen, as police officers, continue to interface with members of the public. Policing is not something you will sit in your office and sit down and say, thank God, and think you can solve all the problems. You have to reach out to members of the public. You have to reach out to every stakeholders. You have to reach out to even those that at the lowest level you think does not matter. They matter when it comes to security. So achieving that problem-free, each-free protest during the end bad government is not something that was achieved on that day. Is a combination of the processes that we have made the police to go through, processes that officers have gone through at the divisional level, at the area command level, and at the commissioner of police level. So we had that interface, and by the time the protest day came, became an easy thing. We continued to exchange ideas with them, interfacing with them, discussing with them, and letting them know that we cannot achieve any progress, any development cannot be achieved under an atmosphere of violence, under an atmosphere of destruction, just like what happened during NSAS. That whatever is their grievances, we can sit down and achieve it. Or we can express our protest by being very peaceful, non-violent protest. And the government will listen, take notes of all the grievances, all the points they have raised, and sit down and work on them one by one. So through continuous dialogue, through continuous interface, we're able to achieve that, and appealing to them that, look, we don't need to go through that processes of the past where lives were lost, properties were destroyed, billions of nairas were lost, and in the period of where there is paucity of fund, all these things the government may not be able to achieve or get all these things back. So we don't need to add to the problem by continue to attack. Let us make this protest peaceful so that the government will have time to listen and take time to solve all this problem one by one. So this continuous dialogue before the protest, during the protest, and even after the protest.
You know, no matter how good something is, there's usually a sore point, and some people were not very happy. Protesters too were not very happy at the Ojota part of the gathering, when they said that some police people just stood by and watched thugs. The thugs, deal ruthlessly or misbehave. He didn't do much at Ojota, and we even saw some of those on video too. Is there a place for postmortem, that after such situations are brought to the table during your postmortem with your men, and such people may be reprimanded or asked to deal differently next time? Because we saw the videos, the thugs were there and the police were just watching and the people were complaining. A lot of those videos flooded and they were even on television. Going forward, how would you be dealing with such a situation, or how would you advise that such a situation be tackled?
Well, the issue of thugs attacking the protesters, I didn't have much of that report, but I think to a very large extent, the policemen, our officers and men that were at that Ojota point did everything to protect the protesters from being molested or attacked by anybody. Even myself, I was on ground. I was there with them, and I assured the protesters that nothing will happen to them. And honestly, nothing happened to any protester. The only one that sustained minor injury, it was minor. I called him aside and we took care of him. Apart from that, we did everything to make sure that the so-called thugs who wanted to hijack the protest, because that was unfair, that some thugs have been lined up to hijack the protest. We didn't allow that. We kept them at bay.
Okay, let's come now to something more. Everything is civil with the police. Let's come to this issue of the third-party insurance, because it's on the front burner now. It's making the news, and people are wondering about it. Why is the police involved in this? What is the role of the police in enforcing third-party insurance for a car driver? And how do we ensure again that in enforcing this, nobody goes beyond what they should be doing to, in quote, molest car owners, drivers, and so on?
Yes, our men have been trained, they have been lectured on how to approach members of the public in all cases, especially this insurance, third-party insurance. I think the third-party insurance is just designed to protect members of the public, because all over the world you cannot drive a vehicle without insurance. You either have third-party or comprehensive insurance. So it's to protect members of the public. In ensuring that this third-party insurance is adhered to by members of the public, our men will do it in a very polite way. They will do it in a manner that members of the public will not feel molested or harassed, and that we have put in place.
There's a punishment for not having, and there are fines. Will they share that with the public properly?
I think what we do is to encourage members of the public to get a third-party insurance, and that is all. Encourage them, and we feel that members of the public will be law-abiding, because the purpose is to protect them, and whatever is done to protect members of the public, I believe the members of the public should be willing and ready to embrace it. But the police will not be hard, will not be punitive in doing that. We'll be very polite, we'll be very sincere, and very professional in handling that.
Dearly beloved police, you are listening. Oh, they say you'll be polite, or you will not be hard. Oh, please, I will do sticker, so you will be seeing that sticker. Oga has said it, so you better comply. Okay, I trust you guys to comply, Joe.
Yeah, so you, with all your efforts then, and even the effort of Lagos Police Command, you see some people who feel that Lagos is becoming very, very tough. If you don't want to abide by rules and regulations, you want to engage in criminality, they shift to, maybe they don't go Abeokuta, but since they cannot be comfortable with Lagos, they can't reach Abeokuta, the capital, but then between Lagos and the outskirts of Lagos and Ogun State. Now that you manage the two states to check crime and criminality, what would be your advice on how people in all this area can cooperate with the police so
and
that
protect themselves.
to protect themselves.
Yes, we know Lagos and Ogun State are in contiguity with each other. They share boundaries. Share boundaries in Otta axis, in Mowé axis, at Kara, and the boundaries are just many. And what we have done in our last meeting is that we made it a kind of policy whereby divisions and area commanders and deputy commissioners of police in charge of the two states meet at regular interval to put security strategies. But I must tell you that even helped us very much in many cases that we have resolved in the area, particularly the case of kidnapping that took place recently in Ogun State. This collaboration has been very, very, very effective. From Ekpe to Ikorodu to Kara to Mowé, Otta, and Agbara. The divisions, the DPOs, the area commander, together with the Deputy Commissioner of Police of Tuesday, are working together to do joint patrol within the border area. And that has made police presence very visible, and members of the public can run to either Lagos and Ogun to receive police assistance in case there is any issue coming up.
Okay, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the recap, the Cordelia recap on mainland 98.3 FM, and today we are looking at the police, taking a cursory look at some of the activities, some things you should know, and we have been graciously joined by somebody who knows and who's been on top of the matter for a while now, and would encourage you to share your concerns. If you have an issue you could share it, because no better time to do it than now. And with us we have the AIG Zone 2 in charge of Ogun State and Lagos State, overseeing the activities of the police in both states and ensuring that things are done properly. And he has been speaking with us so far, and I hope that you've picked a couple of things that you could hold in case you need to speak to the policeman just by you will know what to say. And we have with us AIG Tɣᴇ Rᴇᴜ MNIPSC. Let's come to this matter that was really raving. In fact, it's still very hard between 2 days now, and we're talking about the traditional ruler who was caught on camera assaulting somebody. And the news came out this morning, I saw it this morning though, that the police has taken him to court, and he has 3 count charges leveled against him. Why do you think that the traditional ruler, who should be supporting the people and helping the people, can come down that low to deal with the subject the way he did? And do you think that the police will be able to handle that matter in such a way that others would learn a lesson? Is under your purview, is in Ifo, Ogun State there, and I'm sure you are aware of the matter. Have you been able to do some investigation to ensure that the accomplices, they are still being looked for, are found?
Yes, and that is why that's why you've seen clearly that police has taken a drastic action on that. Traditional ruler has been charged to court because he's not above the law. We believe and we expect traditional ruler to be the custodian of our culture, religion, and other things. And ordinarily they're supposed to be the first point where, if there are issues in the community, where the community people should go and report to. But where this traditional ruler is descending to that level, I think we need to take a drastic action, which we have taken. I assure you, other that are involved, that are part of that issues, will be arrested and will be brought to book. Apart from that, we are going further to make sure that we're able to sustain peace in that community. It's not only the court process we follow other processes too, but ensuring that even after the court process, we're able to bring the community together, look at other things that are causing problem in the area and resolve it so that the community can live.
I know
in peace.
When is a big man versus not a very big man, the challenge is after the case, how safe will the person who is the victim be from the wrath of that person? Whether the person wants to avenge himself or somebody else wants to do it, how safe will that person be? In short, will there be protection for the victim after?
That's why I said that the court something is not going to be the only solution.
Okay, good.
After the court, we will be there to make sure that we ensure lasting peace in that community.
Okay, thank you.
We bring all the parties together.
So if I may equally ask to, I don't know, maybe I can see if we can add to the charges, because I used to see people lie a lot. The man was like, police, now they give like urgent 2K to police, as in he's in control. I think his position, if you are referring to, he says as if he's more than the IGP. Or
Anyway.
police, which we know that that's a complete lie. So if we can add more charge to that.
Yeah, too wicked. Let me. This person has a message at the number 0913-600-0410. Sorry, sir, is already buzzing. But I'll quickly, please, when you call, when we start taking the calls, just keep everything to 1 minute so we can have enough people communicate with our guests for today. And you have a message here. You said, please, I want to ask this question. You're wondering if someone is being taken to the police station, is it the duty of a police officer to write a statement for the person, or the person should write it by his or herself? And if the person is the one that writes that statement, will that statement be the one the police officer will take to court? Or does police officer or the police officer, do they have power to rewrite it either with or without the suspect's consent? Osio Lawrence sent that in from Ajawa State. You got that, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a suspect can write statement on his own if he has the ability to write very well. It's only when he cannot write that the police officer, the investigating police officer, will write for him. And he will write for him only what he says from his mouth. He will not add or subtract. And if the suspect insists that he wants his lawyer to be at the statement taking point, his lawyer can also be there, so that he will not say at the end of the day that he made those statements under duress and this is not what I said. So the lawyer can stand by if he has a lawyer.
Yeah, does the police have the right to now change your statement? Part of the question.
Police has no right to change any statement. It is your statement, and that will be tenable. That is what is going to be presented in court. If the statement is changed in any way, he has the right to object at the court and say, "Look, this is not my statement. This is the statement I made. I object to the presentation of the statement as exhibit in court."
Okay. The number 0913-600-0410. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How?
Madam Cordelia. I called you, but I only that because of my guy is there. This is a fellow. How are you?
Good morning.
We
sir.
have Ambassador Musba here from
Musba.
Hey, Musba.
How are you?
we're going to discuss that later. My guy, God bless you. Way back in Lupeju, when former Lagos State Governor Alhaji Lateef Jakonde commend somebody, believe that person now correct. I will pray for you. I won't be able to visit you because I want to, because you've done a lot, especially during the end by government. God bless, keep it up. I want the police who are listening right now to emulate you. What are the plans you have on ground? You are a mentor to mentor the small cadet, young cadet.
Okay.
You have that after in office and after office. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, kept to a minute. Okay, if another comes in.
Hello, good morning, Sister Cordelia.
Good morning. My timer is on. You can hear that sound. 1 minute starts. What's your name?
I commend the assistant behind.
Okay.
I wish that as he's talking, other policemen should use emulate him. Since you travel to UK and USA for training, did you see the police harassing law? Those countries?
Okay. Oh, the line was dodgy. But
hear.
he asked a question that when you were in the States for training, did you see police people harassing citizens? That was what he said, right? So two things now. People with tattoos, like they do the young boys now, that they are profiling them. That is what people seem to say, because they have tattoos, they have colored hairs, and so on. That, did you ever see the police do that in the West? Plus, what is your plan for mentoring now and after? So you can answer those two before I take the next set.
Okay. Whether those with tattoo, dreadlock,
hair, and all that.
well, I will now say I witnessed that or not. But one thing about policing is that in every crime, the police can suspect anybody anytime. There is that instinct in the police, in a policeman, that can bring out some elements that this man may be up to something.
Don't you think it's profiling for this part? Because once you see the boy with the colored hair, tattoos, and maybe sags and all that, which is their Gen Z type of fashion, they just pick on them. I see them sometimes when I'm driving too.
I know. Our policemen do that, but it's not done in a manner that will cause pain or discomfort to those pointed out. What I'm trying to say is that it is normal for police to suspect. And when you suspect somebody, either with the way he dresses or with the way he's acting on the road, all you need to do is to ask questions, do some brief interrogations, and if the person is able to identify himself properly, this is what he does, this is where I work, he has an ID card, even if he doesn't have, he's able to prove that he is a responsible citizen of the country. I think there is no point dragging such person further. And while I was DPO, I've always spoke to my boys, officers, that the fact that somebody is having a dreadlock or is having tattooing does not mean he's a criminal. If you suspect that he may have tendency of committing crime, all you need to do is to interrogate him, ask him questions, and let him go politely if nothing incriminating is found on him. So that is it. It's not that mentoring. Yes, we are doing a lot of mentoring at this level. We organize seminars, we organize lectures, we bring people from other professions, in psychologists, counselors, to come and teach them ethics, conduct, and how to relate to members of the public. So, and we've always ensured that, look, the people should be seen at the center point of policing, and without the people, we will not be police. And so, since the people are at the center of policing, you must relate with the members of the public very well. You must, because without them, you cannot get this work done properly, because you need credible information, first-hand information. You need to know what is happening in every community. You need to work with the PCRC. You need to work with the landlord association. You need to work with the CDA, CDC, community members. And unless you do that, you may not know the problem confronting them, and you may not be able to put up strategy to addressing all these problems. So it's very necessary.
All right, we'll take your calls now, and remember, keep it short. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, my sister Cordelia.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. I am Triple from Ojo.
Welcome, Triple A.
Yeah. Hello, Sofa.
Mary. The time don't nearly finish, so yeah, quick go.
Okay. You see, when the officers come to station like this, they will speak like officers, and they are really trained as officers. And this, I believe, it is from the school, the police school. Whether they are not properly taught to, whether they are not properly trained, I don't know. Some of them behave like military, and they behave. I went to
Okay.
And I have not eaten for a week.
All
I
right.
wanted to buy it for the person. They said that you pay 2,500 before the person can come out.
Okay.
Because
Time.
I know that places like this, which is very, very bad.
All right. Time up. Thank you. All right. Thank you. We heard that, Joe. You heard that. We'll take note of that. Next, right? Hello. How are you? Okay. You call back. Hello. How are you? Okay, he was just talking about the fact that some of the junior ones, as if they are not trained, and he gave an example. Hello, how are you?
Good morning. How are you, Tğᴇ?
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yes, I want to ask the officer one question because sometimes when police stop, I will do watching while I'm in the vehicle. They will ask someone to come down, put hands in the person's pocket, their bag. I begin to search whether it is lawful for police to put hands into people's bags and pockets to search. Number one. Number two, you said that if the person that is maybe arrested unable to write statement, maybe because of his he's not educated anymore, cannot write, maybe because of sight issues, that he can call his lawyer to be there so that the statement will not be manipulated.
Okay.
The policeman will not wait until you call your lawyer to come to the station. That is the fact. Then the other one I want to say is that sometimes, like what somebody said now, when we are in the studio like this,
Time's up. Okay.
Yes, but
Okay, sir. Time's up. Thank you very much, sir. We'll take one more, then address those ones. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, Lady C.
Morning, how are you?
And of course, your guest in the studio. I'm fine. Thank you.
All right.
My name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abaranja, Likosun.
All right, go ahead, quickly.
Though I know that this question I want to ask your guest in the studio is already in court. But
so if it's in court, you can't ask it.
No, it's an advice. I mean, it's something I wanted to give advice to the public and sort DIP. So.
Okay, quickly.
You understand?
Quickly.
Okay, very good. Sir, this metropolitan Lagos, very busy, and other cities like Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Co. Your men are always on the road, probably exporting in court and doing other illegal things in court too. What if a VIP that is not known, or other people that maybe are not known by the rank and file on duty, along the road, try to stop them, and these people refuse. These first VIPs refuse and start to probably video them, send it to social media. And such VIPs don't have guns, and the rank and file have guns and shoot. What do you think will happen? Will you hold your people responsible, or the VIPs whose names are not known, whose faces are not even known by the rank and file on the police officers on the road?
All right, Peter, thank you. Peter, thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was 1 minute. Let's quickly answer this. Okay, one more. Oh, okay. Control of the telephone. One more. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning.
Morning. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Madam Bello Usman. I am calling from Idimo.
Welcome, Malam. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I greet your guest. Honestly, if you are talking about the Nigerian police, about their attitudes and the way they behave, I mean, you cannot differentiate that from the. If you are talking about it, I use Tğᴇ. I call a customer to take me to that place. Through Tğᴇ, about 2 policemen. I used to call 2 of them. They came and they assisted me down to the compound where I am taking that money to without collecting penny from me. After that, I ordered the person, you must see that people, even a brother of the same father, that is how it is.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's quickly answer all those ones. We'll try and do them briefly, sir, so that we'll move to the next. I'll take them randomly. The person was asking, is it right for a police person to be dipping his hands in the pockets of somebody that they are searching the person? Because you may not even know if that person is a bad person and could even put something in the person's pocket or even the car. So how should we tackle such a situation?
Oh, well, the police has the power to stop and search. that search should be done professionally. If he has to dip hands into the person's pocket, whatever is taken out of the person's pocket must be transparently shown. But I think is in the best interest of the police to allow the person to dip hands into his pocket and bring out whatever is in his pocket or in his vehicle, so that we will not be alleged to have maybe dip something in his pocket or remove something from his pocket.
And before that, can you ask the policeman, may I see your hand?
You can ask, may I see your hand? Do you have it before entering your house, to make sure nothing incriminating is in his pocket too, so that at the end of the day, so that we not say he entered your house and dropped something. So you have the right to say, okay, if you want to search my pocket or my bag, let me see your hand. What do you have in your hand? I hope you are not having anything. Then the searching should be done in a transparent manner. Bring everything out. Let the owner of the bag and the police see what is there. And if nothing is funny, pack those things back neatly.
Okay.
And politely ask the person to go.
Now, somebody talked about the police not waiting for people's lawyers to come before they start taking statements.
Well, I don't think that is true.
Well, he made that complaint that they usually maybe has experienced it also. If that does happen, what happens?
Well, you know, sometimes the suspects in the police station may want to use delay tactics. You can tell the investigating police officer that my lawyer is coming, and the whole day no lawyer is coming. So if the lawyer is not coming, the police has to do his work. So ordinarily, if a suspect is brought to the station, he has the right to contact his lawyer immediately. The lawyer should be able to follow him to the station and follow up all the investigation that the police is carrying out.
Okay, then this person complained that the lower ranks, all this, they have very nicely spoken. When you get there, they don't behave themselves this same way, and that he had taken food to somebody who hadn't eaten for nearly 1 week behind the counter or whatever there, and he got there. The police were asking that he had to pay 3,500 naira before they will allow him, before they will call that person out for him to give food to.
This issue of demanding money from members of the public, I've always said it. The members of the public should resist any attempt by any policeman to demand for money. If food is brought to the inmates in the cell or the detainees in the cell, and the policeman at the counter is demanding for money, the man has the right to look for a very senior officer or even the DPO and complain this to him. And I don't think any officer will encourage this or allow this. But the issue is that when people come to police stations, they are always reluctant to make their complaints known to the senior officer on ground, the duty officer or the DC or the DPO. They should always make this known. They should be able to say no to some of the illegal advances by our officers.
And they should take note of names.
They should take note.
Okay.
Because ordinarily, we don't tolerate it. We don't allow this to happen. And when it happens, we have a measure of dealing with officers that are
in the society that are using the junior is that first to go and will commit an offense and still go scot-free. God bless Nigeria. Tᴡɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Msoɪᴟ that should be Oṋotuyi. From Ijagemo sent that. I don't know if you got everything he said there.
Yes, I got everything. I got everything. Just this boils us to my earlier statement that when such issues are discovered, complaints are noticed, they should be brought to the attention of very senior officers. You can be a complainer in a case, and when the facts of the case is looked into by the officer in charge, you can become a suspect. It doesn't necessarily matter that because you're a complainer, then even when you don't have a case, the police will still say you have a case. And that is why we have officers, senior officers, who can look at cases objectively and say, look, complainer, you are wrong. This case is in favor of the suspect. And if we have such somebody, they should be able to come up and raise issues. If you are not satisfied at the level of the divisions, you can make a complaint to the area command. You can make complaints to the CP. You can make complaint to the zone, and even the IG. And once those complaints made, questions will be asked. The IG will, okay, let's see what you have investigated. let's have your report, let's have your case file so that we can review what you have done. A senior officer will review, and when it's not properly done, the case will be reviewed. And the officer will make sure, the review officer will make sure that the case is brought to the standard that is expected.
Well, my people will say, not be first call police, they always win case. That's what we say in Delta. Then the other part about people of influence using, police people to harass fellow Nigerians because they maybe have them as escorts or bodyguards, or they have money to run their affair.
Well, people of influence have no right to trample on the rights of any individual. And that's why I said, naturally, most Nigerians don't even like to report matters. They just say, let's let it go. That's the attitude of Nigerians. I think Nigerians should take time, report matters, and follow it to logical conclusion.
All right, sir, I don't know if we can make this happen. If we could have somebody join us, even if it's once monthly, right? Maybe somebody from the PR, whoever, who can come live to take some of these questions and complaints, because the time is almost done. The lines are almost going off. I can even see them here. So many people want to say something. If it's something we could, through you, facilitate.
No, we can do that.
Yes.
PROs from both states, Lagos, Ogun, can come and answer questions relating to activities that has to do with crime and what police is doing.
And people can lay their complaints. Okay,
yes.
good. So you heard that straight from our guy's mouth. We're going to walk around that and dedicate a day on this program, if monthly or thereabout. We'll let you know so that you can make all your complaints known. We can take 2 or so more calls before we wrap this up. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Auntie Cordelia.
Hello, Uncle. Your
Good
name?
morning, I greet you.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my boy.
It's 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I greet you to the police. Please, the problem, my name is Gampi from Igondo. The problem I have is that the way people talk to these policemen, they talk to them anyhow. I'm not a police spokesman. Police have caught me different places. They raid me to their station and they release me by themselves. Because why? I know my right. Police caught me. I said, let me see your ID card. He showed me. I said, you are not a policeman. They took me to the station. They said they want to search me. I said, let me know the station you are coming from. They are confirmed they are police. They search me and they let me go. They've caught me more than 20 times. It is the way people talk to policemen.
All right.
That is why I'm telling you. So that is it. People don't know how to talk. If policemen want to search you, talk to them normally. They even leave you. That is it.
All right. Thank you, Dampi. Thank you. All right. And maybe 2 more. Hello. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hi.
good morning, my sister.
Morning. Your name?
Your okay is my name. God bless you for your good work there.
Thank
and
you.
Our police man there. I really commend them in some of their work they are doing. I know that they say that when there is 12, there must be Judas. There are still good police men and women who are working hard for the success of our great country. But please help me. And then most of those, most especially in the time of election, that are doing as if they are not there. Please, and also Agboro, please, our Oga, help us Agboro in Lagos. Become a thing that we cannot breathe again.
All right.
Help us.
Okay.
Abeg. Thank you, abeg.
Thank you very much. Second person referring to tout. All right. Bye-bye. Hello. How are you?
Can you search a policeman after you do necessary? Can you search a policeman?
Okay. Can you search a policeman? Question. All right. That was short, straight to the point. And finally, okay, we can't finally, can we? Hello. All right, okay, let's just leave it at that. Commendations came. Somebody said the way people talk to the police too, they should also watch that. And the last question, let's just deal with that. Agberos, what are we doing about them? And we have just 1 minute to do that. And can you search a policeman? That was the last question, even though he had answered that before.
I think I answered that. That's
yes.
If a policeman comes to your house and wants to carry out a search, you have the right to. search the policeman. Say, look, let me search you too and know that
You don't
you are
have
not-
exhibit.
Uh-huh. Then I'm prosecuted, and I think especially will become a thing of the past. I think, like the other man said, as much as we are working very hard to ensure that our policemen, and you can see the attitude of policemen have drastically changed. The IG is so concerned about the attitude of police, and has always ensured that, and always direct that our policemen should put up good attitude. They should be professional in their duty, and they should not trample on the rights of individuals. At the same time, reciprocally, we expect members of the public to address us too politely. Like the other man said, some Nigerians don't even have regard for police in any form, and I think we deserve some respect too. And when you accord a policeman the respect he deserves, I think he's going to do very well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very good attitude.
Thank you very much for your time. You spent a whole hour with us on the program today. We thank you. Joseph, no last line?
No, my last line is Oga remain a mentor for police. Though I'm not a police officer, but his way as a CP of Lagos is I want to have that is patience, that is discipline. If you can borrow me, so.
Take, I receive it. The English don't run concerns and so on. Till that time, we'll say thank you again for coming on the program. I'm Cordelia Obe. Have a beautiful day. Joseph Olorunsho, thank you so much. And I think Oga Driver is next. Yes.